With the Klan, I experienced something. When I was young, they visited my home. But this is a powerful woman, my mother. My mom immediately walked to the door, opened it, and handed him some candy. And this is what my mother used to say to me. You told me this much than once. I'm not even sure whether you recall. You stated, son, sometimes you have to be a lion so you can be the lamb you really are. Demonstrates how much superior things were in the 1940s. It wasn't good. It was evil. However, what took place? A change occurred. They were less criminals. Perhaps they were scared. I mean, violent lynchings killed 4,000 black men, women, and children. That's your justification. However, for hundreds of years, racial dread was ingrained in American society. Black America has gotten worse. Protests, vigils, and prayers are being held in support of a vile, repugnant, hateful, and lonely white guy. A young black male, age 21, was discovered lynched on his college campus. Dave Chappelle is exposing the hypocrisy of the public panic over Charlie Kirk's murder and delivering some harsh realities once more. We can all agree that nobody should be celebrating Charlie's passing, but it is unusual for someone who has never held public office to have his body flown on Air Force Two. Flags lowered at half-mast, him lying in state, a statue of him in the Capitol, and him receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Contrast that with the complete hush surrounding the recent lynchings in Mississippi of homeless man Corey Zuccotti and college student Trey Reed, who were both discovered hanging from trees. Despite the fact that both deaths raise important issues, there has been almost no media coverage. Although the police were quick to say that there was no foul play, this certainly warrants more inquiry given Mississippi's history of lynchings and the current political atmosphere. But when it comes to determining whose lives are truly important, America has a double standard, as you are already aware. There has been a crazy outcry for Charlie Kirk. You name it. Social media, politicians, celebrities, and commentators. Everyone is contributing. Furthermore, people are even losing their jobs as a result of posting on social media that they don't care about Kirk's passing. I lost my job yesterday at 5 p.m. because I uploaded a video in which I stated, I don't care about Charlie Kirk's death. In the meantime, the two men's deaths in Mississippi hardly register. Chappelle is now inquiring as to what many of us are considering. Why are people being punished for not expressing grief over the passing of an overtly racist individual? The real lynchings of two black men are being ignored in the meantime. Two real-life lynchings of men are being ignored in the meantime. In this video, we discuss how Mississippi is subtly attempting to revive lynchings and why you should pay attention to what the media isn't telling you. So, if you're sick of people telling you that Charlie Kirk's death is the only thing that matters, stay tuned. What must it have been like for anyone in the 1960s? Did 8 or 9 assassinations take place? What impact does that have on a generation that has experienced that and known those individuals? I am this person. I suppose I would still be upset. Like any other loss of human life, Charlie's situation is viewed by many as tragic. However, we cannot overlook the fact that America is actively eradicating the legacy of white supremacists. A day after Charlie Kirk's passing, U.S. Congresswoman Nancy Mace declared she would file a resolution allowing him to lie in honor in the Capitol Rotunda. Trump also ordered the U.S. flags to fly at half-staff in his honor. Mace posted on X, "We will be introducing a resolution authorizing Charlie Kirk to lie in honor in the Capitol Rotunda should the Kirk family wish for him to be honored there. Charlie Kirk dedicated his life to protecting our country's freedoms. He never faltered in his defense of the First Amendment, inspired millions, and brought many souls to Christ. He is especially deserving of this honor because of his legacy." The Republicans' desire for Charlie Kirk to lie in honor at the Capitol is absurd. Let's take a moment to discuss this. Only a few number of private citizens have been honored by lying in honor at the U.S. Capitol Rotunda, typically in recognition of valiant service or exceptional national accomplishments. Rosa Parks is one of them. Now they're actually saying that Charlie Kirk ought to receive the same recognition as Rosa Parks. This man systematically undermined marginalized populations, called civil rights a mistake, and propagated white supremacist ideologies throughout his career, denounced the 1964 Civil Rights Act as a grave error. That's right. Thus, this is merely nationwide gaslighting. They are essentially telling the people that a person who flourished off of hatred should be honored alongside heroes who genuinely put their lives in danger to uphold the rule of law. This is when things become even more bizarre. J.D. Vance personally escorted Charlie Kirk's casket when it was flown back from Utah to Arizona on Air Force Two. They even forced the military honor guard to carry Kirk's casket, as if that weren't strange enough. This infuriated many, including veterans who referred to it as an insult and a shame to all those who have served the nation. According to one ex-user, Black soldiers must look at that task with a bit of nausea. Charlie Kirk stated that if the pilot was Black, he would rather not fly. That's only a small portion of Kirk's hatred. Another said, "It's unfortunate that Charlie Kirk's casket is being carried by the Air Force Honor Guard. The American people deserve an explanation from the Pentagon. Charlie Kirk did not serve. He caused division, propagated hatred, made fun of veterans, and died for it. Service isn't being honored here. Sacrifice is being politicized. All of the fallen soldiers are being insulted by this." And once more, we're discussing a man who claimed that before the Civil Rights Act was enacted, Black people had it better. Additionally, without affirmative action, Black women lacked the cognitive capacity to be taken seriously. It merely proves that they were superior in the 1940s. It wasn't good. It was evil. However, what took place? A change occurred. They were less criminals. Affirmative action was used to choose Joy Reid, Michelle Obama, Sheila Jackson Lee, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. We would have been referred to as racists. However, they are now coming out and speaking for us. As they come out, they claim that affirmative action is the sole reason they are here. Yes, we are aware. You lack the mental capacity to be taken seriously in any other situation. To be taken seriously, you had to go take a white person's slot. Play clip 52. Black people are being pulled into all of this at the same time when they are merely attempting to go about their Black lives. For allegedly celebrating Kirk's murder, they are being held accountable, used as scapegoats, and even subjected to punishment. Like the Texas student was expelled for making a joke about Kirk in a private chat that was caught on tape. People are being attacked online and losing their jobs because they didn't support a man who publicly stated that civil rights were a mistake. Take a moment to process that. We are being duped into thinking we should care, in addition to having to see this enormous state-sponsored mourning parade in support of someone who opposed everyone who wasn't a straight conservative man. That we are the issue if we don't all join together and grieve in the same manner. Let's discuss what isn't being covered while all of this circus is going down for Charlie Kirk. Because two young guys were discovered, hanging from trees in Mississippi while the country was preoccupied with the death of a white nationalist. Among them was Damar Trevon Trey Reed, a 21-year-old Black student at Cleveland, Mississippi's Delta State University. The other was a 36-year-old Caucasian man who was homeless in Vicksburg named Corey Zucadis. Both murders had far too many strange details to be dismissed, and they occurred the same week as Kirk's murder. Authorities claim a faculty member discovered 21-year-old Dema Trevon, Trey Reed's body hanging from a tree close to the pickup ball courts. As soon as word got out, students and others on the Cleveland campus became anxious. As a Black student, I must say that hearing that another Black student had experienced that made me feel extremely unsafe. I enjoy walking on the track, but it would be burdensome to know what happened. I do have to walk to class. State and local investigators began investigating the event right away. Investigators did not find any evidence, according to DSU Police Head Michael Peeler. Authorities were far too eager to declare that Trey Reed's case was free of foul play, but his family doesn't believe it, and is calling for an independent autopsy since the official version of events doesn't line up, and Reed's family members are demanding a comprehensive probe. Do your study on this, please, please, please. Don't allow them to ignore anything else. Enough is enough. The situation of Corey Zucadis is likewise questionable. There is no public information regarding the precise circumstances of his death, despite the identical approach and time. The police have verified that they found a man's body hanging from a tree in a very forested region outside the Ameris Star Casino, according to Yahoo. The body was identified by the coroner as that of Corey Zucadis, and Warren County Coroner Doug L. Husky verified his death. According to Husky, Zucadis was found on Monday, September 15th at approximately 10:30 a.m., but no other details were disclosed by the police. However, given that Corey was located mere hours before Trey Reed's body was uncovered, the timing is highly dubious. In 2025, you have two hang-ins in Mississippi that are just a few hours apart, correct? When those who favor Charlie Kirk are attempting to start a civil war. Could it be merely a coincidence? Well, you have to make that decision. However, we do know for a fact that the mainstream media is saturating us with material about Charlie Kirk, while purposefully suppressing the story concerning these two Mississippi guys. In addition to being white, Corey Zucadis was homeless. It's crucial to remember that because, do you know who just proposed that homeless people be put to death by lethal injection? Brian Kilmeade, host of Fox News. Yes, exactly. We should just start eradicating the homeless, this man stated on national television. And he added that it was only 2 days prior to the discovery of Corey Zukautis' body. Billions of dollars are spent on homelessness and mental health. Many of them are unwilling to participate in the programs. Many of them refuse to receive the required assistance. You cannot offer them an option. Either you accept the resources we will provide, or you make the decision that you will be imprisoned. That's how it must be right now. Or like an involuntary deadly injection. Simply murder them. Yes. Why did it have to come to this, Brian? Correct. This is what I would say. In North Carolina, we're not choosing the appropriate candidates. Get up. Brian Kilmeade is referring to Americans, veterans, trauma survivors, and the most vulnerable members of society when he suggests that the homeless should be put to death by lethal injection. And he is explicitly advocating for state-approved execution rather than housing, medical attention, or sympathy. Despite this, they want you to lose your job because you joked about Charlie Kirk. And Dave Chappelle is pointing out just that kind of hypocrisy. Dave contrasted the response Colin Kaepernick received to the hypocrisy he discussed following the Capitol riots. Yes, folks, we are living in a really bleak period. On the one hand, Charlie Kirk is becoming a saint in America. However, 2 men, including a young black student, were discovered hanging from trees in Mississippi, and the incident hardly received national attention. Furthermore, while people claim that the system is malfunctioning, it is actually functioning as intended. But we are actually the targets of psychological warfare. Therefore, don't be fooled by politicians, the media, or so-called influencers into thinking you're insane for observing this. And share your thoughts about all that has been happening recently in the comments section. Why is Trey Reed and Corey Zukautis removed before the news is even told, but Charlie Kirk's death is handled as a national emergency? When Black and poor people are being hanged in 2025, why is grieving required for someone who considered civil rights a mistake but non-existent? What does that indicate about the future of our nation? Since this discussion is necessary and won't be on News Nation, CNN, or Fox News, please share your opinions in the comments section.